It's almost 6:30, Tuesday the 29th. Sky was not looking very promising. It still could be problematic this evening, but you can see possibly off in the distance to the west where most of our weather originates. It's clear, so I'm going to go ahead and set up the scope, even though to the east it is overcast. A good chance, however, that the westerly winds will bring in the nice clear sky you're seeing there. I won't begin observing and real-time imaging until probably somewhere around 8:30 this evening, largely because we will be recapping and sampling the NGC, I believe it's 200-299 series on this particular night out. It's now 8:15. I just centered up and synchronized the scope on Alpha Rats. I think it's the north. Actually, yeah, it is the northeastern star of the Great Square. And as you might assume, there are 4 stars in the Great Square, and they're all of about the 2nd to the 3rd magnitude. It's a very, very identifiable constellation. Pegasus, leading into Alpheratz, I believe leads into Andromeda. Well, when I walked out from inside, it didn't take me long to see the Milky Way overhead with hints of the cloud nebulosity, dark nebulosity that breaks it up, the Cygnus Rift. And so we should have a fairly decent night of viewing. I'm going to go ahead and set everything up now so that we are operating at standard operating sensitivity, exposure time, 128 flood, 42 decibels. Watch all those other stars pop onto the screen as I return and save these, exit and save these settings. And there we go. Things, studies to the north should appear about there. Anything to the south might be a little bit higher, about a finger's width. There is some water vapor in the atmosphere. You're kind of seeing that there. And let's move on to the NGC 200-299 series, sampling some 20 to 30 studies that will be of adventitious interest. I left the camera out here. It's cold. I only got 3 bars, so we need to move on. Okay, we're still seeing the shadow of Alpheratz there. Ideally, there should be a galaxy. There is definitely a galaxy present there. That's way out of base. But let's see if something else turns up. If that is our galaxy, then our alignment is seriously off this evening. NGC 200 is a galaxy in Pisces. Magnitude 12.6, 1.7 by 1 arc minute, and that could very well be it. I may have to center up and synchronize to that. It's a spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 227 million light years distant, puts it somewhere around maybe 100,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 39 minutes, 34 seconds with a declination 2 degrees, 53 minutes, and 14 seconds above the celestial equator. We are not seeing anything in the center of the screen. Scope has been sitting out. That is a very good looking galaxy. I'm going to assume that's our galaxy and maybe push it up a little bit there and synchronize to it to see where the next one falls in. Okay, our next study is also of the sub-13th magnitude. It is NGC 201, a galaxy in Cetus. 12.9 magnitude, 1.8 by 1.5, spiral with a bar, lowercase c, thrice removed from the mature lenticular spiral class. 196 million light years distant. Maybe this is a little bit smaller than the last one. We're at right ascension 39:35 and declination plus 51 minutes and 34 seconds. Unless something grabs my eye, we're going to go right to Messier 110, which should be NGC 2005, and see if where that ends up on the screen, because I'm a little confused right now about where things are turning up. That's probably our galaxy in Cetus. Let's go ahead and make that hop to NGC205. Here's a quick view. You can see that Messier 110 is turning up right where we saw the last few galaxies, so I'll synchronize to it now. So we have confirmation the 200 and 201 were pretty much the galaxies in the lower right-hand part of the screen. Okay, I'm going to go to NGC205 again to see if we hop around. And we got a little bit of a tick. It's pretty much, wow, that is weird. It is not behaving very well tonight, is it? In terms of, I'm going to once again go ahead and synchronize. Wow, that's very peculiar tonight. Maybe it's just because it's so cold. Synchronize once again. Remember that battery is putting a little pressure on the imaging tonight in the Sony Handycam. All right, let's do this one again. Synchronize to NGC205. I'll give you the data on it. NGC205 on the Gemini 2 handset is a galaxy in Andromeda, aka Messier 110. It's magnitude 8.1, 19.5 by 11.5 arc minutes. This database says it's a spiral of the O class and a capital A. I'm not sure what the difference right now between the capital A and the lowercase a is, but they're two different sides of the tuning fork. 2.5 million light years distant, where right ascension 40 minutes 22 seconds with a declination of plus 41 degrees, 41 minutes and 7 seconds. Looks pretty good from my angle. Unfortunately, I recently discovered that when you're imaging with the camera, you don't get quite as much extensive nebulosity and brightness as you do when you're looking at the TFT screen off axis, like I am now. Well, this is intriguing. We're supposed to be seeing an open cluster, NGC206, in the Andromeda galaxy somewhere on the screen. It's within Messier 31. It's magnitude 12.8, 1.8 by 0.6 arc minutes, 2.5 million light years distant. I don't think it's an open cluster. I think this is an H2 region similar to Orion, and I do believe it's starting to be visible just a little bit, possibly right there on the screen. Actually, it could be this entire region in there, given its, no, it's 1.8 by 0.6 arc minutes. So it's going to be a little bit of a brightening on the screen there. It's really an H2 region. Stars are forming there, so yes, it would be an open cluster as well. All right, not too bad. There's a galaxy right there. It is quite bright. It's NGC210. It's also fairly far south. It's a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 10.9, 4.6 by 3.2 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar in lowercase b, 71 million light years distant. Right ascension 40 minutes 34 seconds with a declination of minus almost 14, minus 13, 52, 23. Getting a view and also a fainter galaxy there. Not bad, and the tracking seemed to work out reasonably well. What we have here is a huge globular cluster, but it's actually called a galaxy. NGC221 is a galaxy in Andromeda, also known as Messier 32, magnitude 8.1, 8.5 by 6.5 arc minutes. It is an elliptical class 2, which means almost circular or spherical. 2.6 million light years distant, of course, is a satellite galaxy of Messier 31. Where right ascension 42 degrees, 42 minutes, 41 seconds, with a declination of plus 40 degrees, 51 minutes, and 54 seconds. I will, of course, synchronize to it before we move on to our next study. What we should be seeing here is NGC223 Galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 13.2, 1.3 by 0.9 arc-minute spiral of the lenticular class, but also A. So it's almost half removed, but it has peculiarities, and that's why I selected it. 241 million light years distant puts this at about 80,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 42 minutes 15 seconds with a declination of almost 1 degree, 50 minutes 43 seconds, and I am getting a sense of some strangeness near the galactic core. So let's move on. I only got 2 bars left on the Sony Handy. As you might suspect, there is also an NGC attribution for Messier 31, the Great Galaxy in Andromeda. Messier 31, 3.4 arc minutes, huge, 189 by 61 arc minutes in size, so a 3-to-1 aspect ratio, suboblate. Spiral with a lowercase b, 2.5 million light years distant. This baby I know is about 150,000 light years in diameter, and I use it occasionally when I try to set standards for recognizing and understanding the relative brightness, sizes, etc., of other more distant galaxies. We're at right ascension 42 minutes 44 seconds with a declination of 41 degrees positive, 16 minutes and 8 seconds. I am not really satisfied with any of the views I've gotten in real-time imaging. Magnification's a bit too high. We're not really seeing the dark lanes. I have looked at this galaxy in a 10 and a 12-inch telescope on a really good night, and you see far more texture than we're seeing here. It's quite disappointing, but nevertheless, I get to share the views with others, and I am immune to local light pollution entering into my retina and destroying my dark adaptivity if I were to be looking through an eyepiece at this point. Anyway, I do get a sense of the dark lane here with some dark penetrating nebulosity in that location of the great Andromeda galaxy. Of course, we're only seeing about 20 arc minutes of the 189 that is specified in the Gemini 2 catalog database. NGC228, another galaxy in Andromeda, magnitude 13.7, 1.2 by 1.1 arc minute. It's a spiral with a bar in the lowercase ab, and I selected it because it has a ring. We should look for a sense of definition on the frontier of this galaxy. Typically, however, it has to be a galaxy that's brighter than magnitude 13 to be able to see the ring, but we'll give it a shot. It's 327 million light years distant, puts it about 110,000 light years in diameter. We're at RA 42 minutes 54 seconds, declination plus 23 degrees 30 minutes and 11 seconds. I'm going to allow this one to develop just a little bit while I search for our next study. Ooh, it's too far south. 230 is too far south, but it had a great aspect ratio. All right. Okay, 12.5. That's an elliptical. I don't think we want to see them. They're glowing balls, faint balls of light. This is a spiral with a bar, but it's face on. Now let's move on from there. 92. Okay, 236, 237. No. 239. 1 by 0.5. No. 14.8 magnitude. Yeah, let's go there next. All right, let's watch this one develop. It's NGC239, a galaxy in Cetus. I selected it because it's magnitude 14.8. It'd be interesting to see if we can make it out. It's also purely oblate, 1 by 0.5 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase ab, 167 million light years distant, probably puts it at about 60,000 light years in diameter. And I do believe that is our galaxy. Why is everything drifting this way tonight? We're at right ascension 4437 with a declination of -3 degrees, 45 minutes and 36 seconds. So we have yet to get to the first hour of right ascension, and I do not expect that to occur this evening. All right, here we have another ring galaxy, NGC240. It's a galaxy in Pisces. The fish is magnitude 13.5, face on 1 by 0.9, spiral with a lowercase a and a ring. And I selected it because it's very distant. 547 million light years puts this at about 175,000 light years in diameter. I am getting a sense of a frontier when I look at the screen. I just don't know whether or not it's apparent on the Sony Handycam. We're at right ascension 45 minutes 1 second with a declination of plus 6 degrees 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Look for that ring. And remember how distant this baby is. All right, no galaxy to be seen here. We're at NGC 246. It's a huge planetary nebula in Cetus. Its magnitude is 10.4, 240 by 210 arc seconds. It is quite apparent right there. That is sweet. The central star is magnitude 11.9, which is only 1.5 magnitudes fainter than the entire nebulosity itself, which is why it appears relatively faint. This one is 1,500 light years distant with a right ascension of 47 minutes 3 seconds and a declination, and this is one of the reasons we're not getting as good a view as we might like, of minus 11 degrees 52 minutes and 19 seconds, but it is quite present on the screen. Enjoy. Well, if you enjoyed that last ring, you probably will, if you can see it, appreciate that NGC 252, a galaxy in Andromeda, is magnitude 12.4, 1.4 by 1 arc minute spiral with a lowercase a and a ring. 226 million light years distant, puts it at about 80,000 light years in diameter. The galaxy is quite present on the screen. We're at right ascension 48 minutes, single second, with a declination northerly of 27 degrees 37 minutes and 24 seconds. See if you can make out the frontier of this spiral, the lowercase a, so once removed from lenticular galaxy. Let me skip on ahead a little bit, see what else we can come up with. Oh, there was a really nice galaxy in Sculptor, but it's way too far south and very large at magnitude 7.2. If you want to know about it, it's NGC 253, but I'm going to have to beg off on that one. It's too far south. There's a nice 11.7 magnitude galaxy in Sculptor, NGC 254. All right, there's a nice, oh, that's minus 11 degrees. Why don't we go to NGC 255? All right, we can see NGC 255 taking form there against a brightish screen because we're far south. NGC 255 is a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 11.9, 3.1 by 2.7 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. 72 million light years distant, means it's probably about 50,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 47, and declination of minus 11 degrees, 28 minutes and 6 seconds. But you can see the galaxy there, maybe not that aesthetic, but it's quite present. NGC 266 is a galaxy in Pisces, but fairly far north, plus 32 degrees, 16 minutes and 39 seconds. The galaxy is magnitude 11.6, pure face-on 2.9 by 2.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar in lowercase ab. Look for that bar. 211 million light years distant puts this probably somewhere around 100 and maybe even 200,000 light years in diameter. Very large. Right ascension 49 minutes and 47 seconds with a declination of plus 32 degrees, 16 minutes and 39 seconds. Taking a break from galaxies, let's have a look at NGC 272, an open cluster in Andromeda, magnitude 8.5 collective with about 8 stars, so not a lot. The brightest are magnitude 9, which tells you there aren't very many stars. It's a class I, Roman numeral 4-1, which means the stars are pretty well spread out with all of roughly the same magnitude. 3,500 light years distant, right ascension 5124, declination plus 35 degrees, 49 minutes and 54 seconds. Well, isn't this one brilliant? This is NGC278, a galaxy in Cassiopeia, magnitude 10.8, face-on, pure, 2.4 by 2.4 arc-minute, spiral with a bar in lowercase b, a mere 39 million light years distance. So this one's probably not much more than 20 to 30, oh, we just saw a satellite passage, 20 to 30,000 light years in diameter with a right ascension of 52 minutes 4 seconds, declination pushing the limit here a little bit, plus 47 degrees, 33 minutes and 1 second. That is a brilliant view of that NGC 278. Well, here's a little depth test. This is NGC 287, a galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 15, but I suspect that's the blue violet. So it's 0.8 by 0.4 arc-minute, spiral of lowercase a, 245 million light years distant, puts it about 60,000 light years in diameter, right ascension 53 minutes, 28 seconds with a declination of 32 degrees north, 28 minutes, 55 seconds. NGC 287. It is quite present. So it's probably about a 14.2 magnitude in the visual range galaxy. Here we have NGC 295, another galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 12.6, 2.2 by 1 arc-minute, spiral with a bar in lowercase b, 244 million light years distant. We're at right ascension, almost approaching an hour, 55 minutes and 5 seconds, with a declination of 31 degrees, 31 minutes and 48 seconds. Our next galaxy was probably on the same screen as 295. This is NGC 296, galaxy Pisces, fainter, magnitude 15.4, but I selected it because it has a nice 3:1 aspect ratio. Let's see if we can pick it out. 1.2 by 0.4 arc-minute, spiral of the lowercase c, thrice removed from lenticular, 250 million light years distant, probably puts it around 75,000 light years in diameter. I am seeing it on the screen from my angle. We're at right ascension 55 minutes, 22 seconds with a declination of plus 31 degrees, 40 minutes and 40 seconds. We're getting there, folks. Still 2 bars on the Handycam. We're down to 1 bar in the Handycam, and we have concluded all the adventitious studies in the 200 to 299 series. We're at NGC 307. A galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 12.8. I selected it because it's 1.6 by 0.7 arc-minute, lenticular spiral, 179 million light years distant, puts it at about 75,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 56 minutes, 32 seconds with a declination of minus 1 degree, 46 minutes, 18 seconds. And if I run out of battery, we're going to call this Carpe Noctem, but we want to look at Messier 33, don't we? Okay, we should be seeing the core and some spiral extensions of Messier 33, the Triangulum Galaxy, one of the largest galaxies in the local group, third behind our own Milky Way, which is led by Messier 31, the Great Andromeda Galaxy. 68 by 41 arc-minutes in apparent size, 3 million light years distant. I can only guess that it's probably somewhere around 50,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 1 hour, 33 minutes and 51 seconds with a declination of plus 30 degrees, 39 minutes and 27 seconds. And with that, I am going to say, you heard it in your head, Carpe Noctem.